And we're live. Welcome back to Typical Monday Podcast.
It is us again.
Lane?
And Ben. I forgot we were saying our
I
names.
forgot that we did that too. So, your favorite hosts.
Your most coherent hosts.
Debatable.
Lane, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I recently got a haircut.
Me too. That is funny.
See. Really?
Yes, I'm not very happy with my haircut.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know what stinks?
Longer.
Yeah, it's you go to your haircut to typically get it cut shorter.
Typically get it cut.
Typically. Same guy, same picture that I showed him, two radically different haircuts from now and
He was just feeling something different.
He was just in a weird mood. Anyways.
It's funny that you actually complained about yours. I was getting ready to complain about my barber too.
What, Edwin?
Yeah. Yes, Edwin. I used to go to him, and I guess I'll start this off. I'm going to continue to go to him, but I do have a beef with this guy. Okay.
Oh man.
He doesn't give a crap about your time, and you know this to be
This
the case
is
too.
the one reason why I have stopped going to him, because he is a phenomenal barber.
He is
Best haircuts I've ever had.
and that's why it's hard to recommend him to really. I mean, pretty much, I guess, like anyone. I mean, I did bring my little brother there this last time. He loved it because he had an Xbox there, but like that's the only reason. Like he does a really good job, but does not care about your time in any way.
How long were you waiting before you got your haircut?
Do you really want to know?
Oh, should I guess?
Start to finish. We get there. I get home.
Okay, what time was your appointment?
7.
You didn't get home till 9:30?
Nope.
Later?
11 o'clock.
No, you're kidding
o'clock,
me.
Man. Okay.
No.
So I did a appointment at 7 p.m. sharp, and I brought my little brother. I get there. Excuse me. He's cutting someone else's hair. Just started, and there's another guy waiting. And as you know, it takes about an hour a person.
Yeah, I mean, he really takes his time.
It's about an hour a person, which is nice, but not when you're in a hurry and you have an appointment and you have to wait 2 hours. So I get there, he's cutting this dude's hair, and then and he'll frequently stop cutting hair and just talk. It's like part of his
That's
thing.
part of his shtick. Yeah.
That's part of his thing. Yeah. I mean, he's a cool guy, and so he was talking about Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I mean, like conspirity theories and stuff.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, it's just like my little brother's like, is this gonna hurry up? Or because he's used to going to retail supercuts, hair cuttery, in and out, 20 minutes tops.
Yeah,
yeah. 4 hours, but
I've never had that bad.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big oof.
So I'm just like, man, I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the haircuts are good, but like, is it that good? So I think I'm going to have to sit down and have a talk with them and be like, look, do not confirm an appointment unless you are actually going to be free during that time.
Right.
It's like, I'd rather just show up and peek my head and there's one person there. Let me leave and come back tomorrow.
Exactly. Here, you know what, Lane? You keep talking. I'm going to turn this fan off. I just realized we left the fan on.
There we go. That works.
But we're live and we're not going to edit this out.
We are live and it's not going to be edited out because that is too much work.
Turning off
we are
fan now. Nope,
those are the lights. There we go. There's the fan.
I don't feel too bad because you've made that same mistake and this is your house.
Oh, really? I have?
Turned off the wrong
switch. Yeah, I know. Because I mean, I'm only in this room when I'm doing work and the lights are honestly usually on.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So where do we live? Haircuts, yes. Yeah, the guy I went to, I go to a place called Mecca, which the reason I go there is because there's 3 or 4 barbers. And typically I go in and
you don't have to wait 5 hours.
I don't have to wait. That is worth more to me than, it's like that from good to great thing. Yeah. Like Edwin may be great, but is the wasting your night worth it for the great? For me, no. And now this guy took literally an hour and a half to cut my hair. Now the fade it's like a very minor slight fade on the side. Really good job. But he didn't give me what I wanted. And I had to be somewhere. And so as soon as it was done, I didn't have time to be like, hey, actually, can you take some more length off.
Yeah.
Because I had to run and meet. I had some family in from Pittsburgh, and so I had to run to go meet them. So now it's not. I've had worse haircuts.
And I mean, I think like barber doing their own thing every once in a while is good. Like if you sit down and be like, give me whatever you're feeling within reason,
Right. Yeah. Like,
so
like
that's
Edwin,
nice to do.
Edwin is somebody that I would trust. Like I'd show him a picture and say, but if you want to do a little something different, as long as it's close to this, I'm okay with that, because I could trust Edwin.
Chris
with that.
did something like that. He's like kind of like my brothers, but different. That's all he said, and it turned out great.
What kind of cut did Chris get?
It was basically like this, shorter on the sides. I think it's one on the sides,
So more
and
of a fade
3
kind
or
of thing
4
on
the top. He got like I don't think there is a
standard
size for
boy
him.
cut kind of.
It's like his hair could go down to like the bridge of his nose,
Gotcha.
type thing, but it looks good.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
he's
Edwin,
happy with it.
Killer barber, but boy, oh boy,
Good God, man.
it's oof.
Yeah. I actually talked to him about his commercial lease. I'm going to try and hook him up and get him a good deal on
Nice.
it the next time, because from the sounds of it, he didn't get a good deal on every sign. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, just crazy. But anyways, we are both in the market for a firearm.
It's funny how we're both doing all the same things at the same time.
I know, right?
Haircuts, firearms, yeah.
You name it. So I recently just got mine. Springfield XDM, full size 9mm, 19 rounds, one in the chamber, so full 20.
Yeah, nice.
It's got the integrated grip, or the integrated safety in the grip.
Right, like kind of like the webbing of your when you grip it.
Yeah. And then it's also got a cocked notifier, and as well, it also notifies you if there's a bullet in the chamber as well. So that's
Gotcha.
cool.
A lot of nice safety features, but if you're a parent and
I was really looking for a Glock originally, but the guy in the shop talked me out of it, which is really hard to do.
I tell you what,
he did a good job.
Again, weird, because I really had my sights set on a Glock. And like, for carry wise, maybe like a 43, 42, something like that. Then maybe like more the full size ones just for, but my Uncle Greg, who he does like 3-gun and stuff like that. He's been shooting since he was 6 years old. Really said,
nice.
like for him, it was a grip thing. Like when he has a Glock, he's like, when he naturally he's shooting up, he has to intentionally break his wrist to get it to shoot straight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he taught me how to one too. So I'm gonna go and shoot a couple and just see what I like.
Well, we both have big hands, and I held a lot of Glocks, and like they were just a little bit smaller
On the chintzy side for you.
Yeah. So I need something with more beef.
Yeah, super reliable, and I mean, like the Glock will never fail on you.
There is a debate, I guess, between the Springfield XDs and a lot of Glocks. I didn't even know this till after I got it. But yeah, I looked it up, and I'm like, so there's a lot of people think Springfield XDs are better. A lot of people think Glocks are better. It was kind of like the feel and like the whole safety thing.
Yeah. The firearm community is everybody's particular about what they like.
Yeah.
But, like everything is, for the most part, unless you're like going to buy like a crappy High Point or something, everything is really pretty much so well made that as long as you don't buy a piece of crap, which, buy a reputable company, you're getting a pretty good.
Buy a 3D printed gun.
Have you ever fired your Springfield like that model before? Not yet.
Nope. First time. Cool. So I got 400 rounds. I figured that'll break it in, and then I'll have a lot left over, or some. Maybe I'll shoot them all. Right. I don't know. We'll see.
And I had another question about it, but I forgot.
The Springfield?
Yeah, or just I guess I forgot. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at that's my question. Is that something that you would, that's pretty full size, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that you would want to carry if you're going to do concealed carry? Or is that like kind of like your home?
It is a full size, really good for home defense, but it's also slim. So I think like width wise, it's like 1.5 inches.
Really?
I think it's 6 long, maybe 6.5 long by 4.5 tall, something like that. Not too big, but I'm a big guy, so it's pretty easy.
That's
to
what I was
hide
gonna say. I know a lot of guys don't like to carry double stack because that widens the frame quite a bit.
But 1.5 inches, I mean, if I have a belt and a holster, and I'm usually wearing a dress shirt anyway, you're not gonna ever see nothing.
Right.
So it's I think it should be fine.
And this is we're probably a ways off, but do you know how you would plan to carry? Like do like appendix carry or like back or side?
Probably hip.
Hip, Gary?
I would
Yeah.
think. Yeah. It's just so much easier if I ever need to use it back. I feel like it's just. I mean, maybe
I wouldn't do
maybe
back,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'll have to practice. Drawing it and stuff like that, but I'll figure it out. But most likely hip.
I know a lot of
more
guys are
natural.
like really all about the appendix carry right
Yeah.
now, but like I don't know, we're a little bit bigger guys, and I don't know if I could.
It's not gonna feel. It's not gonna feel
comfortably-
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah,
Maybe at the end of 2020 when we
Well,
reach
we
our goal,
shed this.
we'll
Yeah.
sling it around to the front and see what works.
But yeah, and so we're in the South, and so I know a lot of different places have like different connotations about like firearms, and that's like a really hot topic nowadays.
We're as far south as you can go.
Which is weirdly
Florida.
not very southern. You get more southern as you go to. There are pockets in Florida. There are pockets in Florida.
For sure. But when
like-
you do hit those pockets there,
If they're deep south, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you get to like Georgia, isn't it funny how like Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, like that's considered southern, and Florida's just like this weird stepchild that's like there.
I mean, like
but,
if you go to like the swamp, like that's as south as you can get. But I mean,
fine.
like it's for the majority, it's all the old people. All
there's,
the
like-
old people
like the
from the U.S.
Panhandle. Yeah.
come here. We got the villages. I mean, like literal traffic highways for golf carts.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people really have like take issue with concealed carry, but like I like speaking like for me, I'm in church on the weekends, and there's been I don't look at the news, man, tons and tons of church shootings, and it's one of those things like. I wasn't sure how I felt about it for a long time, but tell you what, you have a kid, you have a family,
Man, yeah.
it's not just about you. Like you're
you
not
want
like
the good guys to have guns. I mean,
right?
that's-
You're not
shit.
like it's not like we're going around like Dirty Harry looking for punks to but it's like one of those things. It's just there's so many tragedies happening around, shootings in public, and then but specifically like for me, like the whole church thing really concerns me. And,
I mean, I honestly hope I never ever have to use that thing.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
if the time comes, man, I'll be glad
rather-
that I have it.
rather have it, never need it than
Oh, yeah,
than need
definitely.
it, not have it.
20 rounds, buddy.
20 rounds of
Buckle up.
lead. You gonna carry an extra mag?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Well,
With 20
don't
rounds,
know.
it's not.
concealed carry, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, like what? I mean, if anyone does attack you, you got 20 bullets and you can't get the job done, you got some other problems.
Yeah.
So-
And so whenever you do start the concealed carry, I'd be interested to see how you feel about it, because that sounds like a pretty full size, like a hefty gun to carry. So I
Yeah,
wonder how.
it is, so.
Wonder how you would
See,
your thoughts
maybe
on that.
it won't work out concealed. I know my broker, my boss bought the same exact gun, but it was a little bit smaller
Gotcha.
for concealed. But I'm a little bigger than him, so I don't
Right.
know. We'll see. But
Yeah,
if it
frame
comes
is
down to it,
always-
I'll go something smaller.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm looking at the SIG, it's the P365, which is a very, it's kind of like, maybe a Glock 43 adjacent single stack. It would probably be, I don't know. I think like, probably somewhere between 6 to 8 in the chamber, but it's like, so tiny that you could like fit it in your pocket, if you needed to.
Yeah,
I'd want it just still in like a Kydex holster or something, but
As long as there's a safety or like maybe one or two safeties on a gun, if you fit in your pocket, that's probably fine.
yeah. And that's the other thing about the Glocks is that with a kid in the house, like a little babies, like obviously you keep your gun in a safe anyways, but you always want to prepare, and like to not have a safety on a gun is like, and also I grew up in a house where like my dad's family, and they're in like Ohio, Pennsylvania. They shoot, but my dad was more like an artist and never did any of that kind of stuff. Like he shot a squirrel when he was 10, and he cried afterwards.
Oh, really?
So that's he still has a squirrel stuffed in his office.
Oh, really?
But,
That's
the
that squirrel?
Yeah.
That thing is to creep the hell out of me,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Still
And
does,
so-
actually. It's really weird. Whoever the taxidermist that made it really like creepy
Yeah,
looking.
really, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe it was that guy.
Yeah,
That would be even weirder.
But
You should ask him.
I should, yeah.
Just for crap and giggles. I mean,
Yeah, somewhere in Ohio. I think he was like 10, but but yeah. And so I've who's someone not growing up shooting, the lack of having a safety on something, at least for like first, I'd rather have something a little bit has a few more precautionary measures on there.
I gotcha.
So
My stepdad, which is pretty much my dad.
Right.
He shot a deer when he was, I want to say a teenager, maybe 14, 15. Maybe he was older. I don't know. But yeah, after that, he never hunted again.
yeah,
But then I've got other family that hunts all the time and they love it. So
Right.
I think I got that gene because I was skinning squirrels when I was like 14 or 15. Because I was into the whole like survival thing, live off the land. Could you do it? You know,
Right.
Fantasizing about that. So I'd shoot squirrels with like air guns, skin them, gut them, and then cook them.
Nice.
Yeah, but they're actually good. Tastes
Really?
like chicken, a little more chewy. Really hard to get like the hairs out. It's just like something about squirrels. It's just
When were
so
you
hard.
doing this? Because we like,
I don't know. It was, this was
was it at the pool house or at the 2-story house?
I don't remember, man. I really don't.
Look at you, you sound like some rich kid. Was it at your
over-
pool house or the 2-story?
So, it was at Zach's house, but I don't remember where I
That
was
sounds
staying.
about right. That makes
yeah.
sense.
So Zach wouldn't skin him. So
Really?
you're gonna do. I mean, not that he wouldn't. He would just kind of like
Uninterested.
hesitant, and he would watch me do. I think he did do one after a while. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but he had no problem shooting them. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that sounds
so
about right.
many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many squirrels in Florida. It's crazy. But yeah, it was good. So if I had to do it, I could.
Smooth transition.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
to-
Which I've been watching this show called Alone. It is on Prime Video. Basically, it's just they take 10 people, drop them off, and on Vancouver Island, which is in Canada, west side of Canada, and it's just filled with what?
West Side. Represent.
Dude, no, this place is crazy. Basically, no one lives there except the locals who are super hardcore.
Right,
So,
You're
they
telling me
take,
there's like bears and like mountain lions and wild animals.
like an
and,
insane amount of black bears, cougars, wolves. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it rains like 217 days a year there. It's just always raining.
and cold, right?
Yeah, and cold. Yeah, the winters there are brutal. So
Yeesh.
they take 10 people, drop them off. They say, hey, you can bring 10 items. Within reason, you can't bring guns, a boat,
Right,
a gun.
UTV.
I said gun first. Whatever.
Guns, boats, guns, firearms.
I mean, yeah, you can't bring like MREs, you know, like food. It's really stinks.
Right.
But
It's like really roughing it.
yeah, last person standing, 500 grand.
That's some shmoney.
So, which leads to the next question: would you do it? And if you would do it, could you do it? And if
Chuck could,
you
Chuck
did
would,
it,
yeah.
how much would you? Yeah. So, how long do you think you would last?
Okay.
But first off, would you do it?
Would I do it? I haven't seen this show yet. I'm probably going to go home and binge it when I get home.
Yes.
This sounds
Oh, yeah.
like the
You-
type of
you
thing
probably will,
I'm
for
super
sure.
into.
I love the first season way more than the second season. I'm just started the second one. It's still good.
Right,
But
just
I like the
different,
first
yeah.
one more. Babysitters are all figured out. Everything will be perfect.
Right, wives are
Everything,
got
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
So are we talking about going in cold, or like do I have like 2-3
same
months
stuff.
to prepare for this thing?
You have like a week. Like 1 week to just research everything about Vancouver Island, which I think is not enough time, but I mean more than necessary, like
Oh.
minimum.
Okay, so I love camping. I love. I would love to do more of it. Haven't done much of it recently. Would I go to what's Hellhole Vancouver Island?
Yeah. To win the $500,000. Not just like, would you do it for fun? Would you do the contest?
Going in cold right now, no, because there's going to be some 50-year-old grizzled veteran who like was left in Vietnam for 10 years.
You'd be surprised. Watch the first season.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they intentional about like finding some like little people on like kind of like the softer side of things?
No, huh?
No.
Just a lot of people seemed hardcore and they got there and they're like, no, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you ask me, like if you booked my flight from a week today, I probably wouldn't do it.
No.
But if I had some time to prep and really get in the outdoors
Yeah,
to
7
like
days. Okay. 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Just like enough time to do some homework on the island, but that's about it. Like your survival skills is basically what you have,
you have now.
and 10 items.
Yeah.
Probably won't help you.
Probably not, because
No.
you could be killed by a bear. and I wouldn't get back to see my family.
Okay, so I probably should have specified. You do have a med kit. They give you 2 flares and a couple of air horns. Correct.
Oh, okay. So I could, suture myself up after
and
a bear
do have a
tears into me
satellite
Leo
beacon.
style.
You press the button, and they do send in help. They have help standby, not close, but I mean somewhat close.
You see a bear charges you. You press that button. What are you? An hour till help arrives?
Yeah, but I mean, black bears, they're usually more afraid, unless that's like, mama bear and her cubs and you charge them. It's probably not going to happen. If you see a bear and you say something like, hey, bear, and they'll usually kind of, get out of there. You've got a flare. They don't like fire.
Gotcha.
That's like a raging fire pointed at them. And then you also have some air horns.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, you've got 10 items. Maybe you brought a bow.
I feel like you're confident enough in yourself to say you would do it.
Yes.
I don't think you make it very far, but I think you would say yes.
I would do it. I do not know how far I would make it. I would say at least 14 days, I think.
You think so?
I think at least 14 days. Yes.
If you gave me 6 months to go, because, I don't know about you, I've never done anything remote. The most, I've done camping and stuff like that, but nothing like remote, like, just nobody anywhere, right? So I've never done that kind of thing.
I've got a story about that.
Is that you and AJ?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did.
A while ago.
But we were out camping. I went camping with them a lot. They were really big into it. They went like at least once a month. I forget where we were. We went to so many dang spots. But so we were joking around. And he was watching Bear Grylls or something at the time. Whatever was on. I think it was probably Bear Grylls. It's been out for a while.
Have you seen any of those behind the scenes footage of Bear Grylls to see how fake his stuff is?
Yes, and it's really fake.
Did you see the lava
Snickers and stuff? No.
There's this one where he's like, remember when his boot caught on fire? Did you remember that episode? At the lava?
Vaguely,
and this person went to the same location and they took the shot of where he walked and they panned over like 40 degrees and there's a highway. There's cars
driving
by.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a few things and it's really fake.
It's hilarious.
But supposedly this show is not. It's like actually
it's like the real hardcore version.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people flaked like within the first 4 days.
Right.
It's like hardcore people that signed up for this and like, oh yeah, Survivorman, this and that. First 4 to 5 days, like 80% of them gone.
Dang.
Crazy. But so he was watching Bear Grylls saying how he could survive, or how he didn't think he could survive, or something like that. And me and AJ, of course, we're like, I don't know, what, 15, 14? Right. We're like, what? Or no, I think it was just me. I think that probably sounds right. I'm like, I could do that, no problem. And he's like, so if I dropped you and AJ off in the middle of nowhere with a map and a compass, you could get back. I'm like, well, no, but I could survive. So one thing led to the other. I don't think it was that trip. It was a couple trips after that actually happened. That's exactly what he did. We took a hike. And he's like, all right, now stay here, close your eyes. And he kind of like spun us around and just left. And you would think it's like, oh, well, duh, just go the way you came. But like, I forget what happened, but we went through like some brush or something where like there wasn't like an easy trail.
Right.
And I don't actually remember how we got back, but I mean, I'm here.
But so you're here to tell the tale.
We definitely got back. Then we saw some bears on the way back too.
Nice.
Pretty freaky. Actually, we actually hauled butt. Yeah. And they were so far away. They were so far away. Like we were looking down this mountain, and we were like at the bottom of the mountain, and we're like flash. I'm pretty sure I took off, and AJ was way behind me. I just gone bolted. So, but a lot of people in that show did the same thing. Once they kind of came face to face, not face to face, but somewhat close to bears, or they hear some like twigs being crunched at night. They're like, tap out, bun.
Yeah, listen,
come get me.
The Revenant is no joke, dude.
Oh my God, grizzlies. Oh. Yeah.
So
when the number one safety or the best advice to give someone in a grizzly attack is play dead, that's no thank you.
Not much luck. Yeah.
No thanks. Sometimes they stop. That is not.
Sometimes they get bored.
Yeah, that's exactly
that's your hope.
it.
Yeah, that's your counting on survival.
Nope. So black bears are much better than that.
Right.
So they're pretty scared.
So I got here. You told me about this, and you said that you're allowed to take 10 items.
10 items. I mean,
So-
not including clothes. I think they allow
10
you
survival accessories.
Yes,
Yeah.
and 2 outfits, and then they've got your med kit and camera equipment. But 10 items. I mean, I don't know if it's like a bundle of knives or if it's just like each
Probably
knife
like
counts.
a knife. Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we both have a list here, and with me I haven't seen this show yet, but I've come up with for 10 items. I think this is a pretty solid list. So you want to go 1 1 2 2 3 3, and we'll go like that, or you want to list all yours off, and then we'll list all mine.
We can just kind of go like back and forth.
Sounds good. What's your number one?
I put a few tarps.
Number one is a dozen tarps.
A few tarps. So I mean, 1 or 2. I don't know if they'll let me get away with a pair. A pair of tarps.
Yeah.
1 to kind of collect water because it rains there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the other kind of possible like roof,
Right.
Yeah, so definitely tarps. Or maybe you could build a boat out of sticks and then wrap the tarp around it and have yourself a little
Right.
boat.
Something like a survival
You're
tarp.
gonna catch fish, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Another question. What is the primary food source for these people when they're out there?
I mean, it's just
Like
kinda,
rabbits, squirrels,
There
or is it
isn't
fish or
there was a squirrel. Someone didn't get it.
small target?
Small game like mice and stuff. The main thing was seafood, like kelp, fish. That's another thing I didn't write down. A net. But yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But,
So my first one is a knife. I see I've spelled it here. Kife. Kife. I got excited and left the N
nice.
out of
Ooh, kife.
knife. Yeah. And so I'm thinking I know this won't mean anything to you, Lane, but like a Gerber strong arm,
Okay.
almost like something similar to like what maybe a military like in the sandbox would take. Something like it, but it's like a good survival knife. It's like solid. It's sturdy. You can baton with it. You can do a lot with it.
Okay. Nice. There you go. Yeah. Knives. Definitely a knife for sure.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of chop out some wood, build something. I don't know. I would say an axe. Definitely gonna need some firewood.
Yeah. Axe is my number 2 as well.
Nice. Yeah. There you go. My number 3 is actually didn't know the name. Yeah, you informed me on the name. Kukri.
A kukri, yes.
Kukri. Definitely want one of those. Which that was my knife.
Gotcha.
So that's my knife, kind of / axe for like small logs. Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Yeah. I believe originated in Nepal. The kukri. Very cool. It's a great slicer.
Oh, yeah.
That can almost, we're talking about, that kind of fits in between kind of like machete hatchet territory because that curve at the end of it, that's so good for chopping. So my number 3 is like a flint / like fire starter of some, whatever variety. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap here.
You have to have flint. I mean, if you're gonna old school it with like some sticks out there, like it rains.
I was gonna say,
80%
especially if
of
it's
the
also
time.
damp.
Oh my
starting a
gosh.
fire must be tricky.
Good Lord, man. I'd say a pot or a pan, some kind of.
I have that on mine as well. We'll just it's somewhere down there. But I'll just say I have one. Like I put like cooking set / pot because a lot of them they like kind of all kind of nest inside each other. So I didn't know if you could take one or a whole kit.
Something to boil water. I mean, if I can't have a pan, I just take a pot. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Something to boil water, catch some fish in, throw some seawater in there, boil everything up.
Right.
I would do fishing line too. Maybe make some kind of like trout trap or something like that. Maybe a trout line somehow.
Yeah. I have, and this kind of like a multi-part thing is like a bunch of, as much as they would allow, of paracord. But are you familiar with survival paracord?
Yeah.
Where it's like inside of it, you can cut it, and instead of it being just like 6 strands of smaller string, it's throughout the whole thing runs fishing wire, fire starter wire, all those things. So it's kind of like a multi-purpose.
No.
So you can use it to tie it, and also
that's really cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of that was on mine.
On the show, you are allowed to use anything you find on shore. So if some rope washes up, this guy found some bottles. So some plastic water bottles that have those 4 ribs. He cut along the 2 ribs, stuck it in there, and made a little bait trap. Caught tons of stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I did say fishing line, obviously hooks too. I was hoping that would be a pair.
Included. A fishing set.
I put a blowgun. I mean, I'm really good with a blowgun, but it's just debatable because I mean, the more I'm thinking about woods, marsh, I'm gonna lose those things so dang fast.
Like
so.
I put down slingshot here as kind of like I feel like maybe like I don't think it'd be super useful, but maybe nice just to have like some small game.
Piss off a bear. Yeah, which the blowgun would only be good for it too. Stick it right in the nose and just piss it off.
Yeah, and so I got I have tarp one here as well, like maybe like a hammock situation you could do, get off the ground. I have on mine like water purifier tablets / like that life straw thing, like something like a water purifying method kit of some sort.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice. I do have one of those, but I didn't think about that. I was thinking you couldn't bring it, but if you could bring it, that's for sure. That might even be number one.
Yeah, honestly, but keep you alive. But is it like if it's not like I'm not sure about the train. Are there like is there like fresh water or like hardly available or no?
There's some like in creeks because there's lots of mountains on it. Right. So yeah, some
That's right.
But that would for sure a life straw. Good Lord. I put good backpack and carving knife. Carving knife kind of said previously, but a good backpack would be good just to kind of haul around if you have to move camp here and there.
Right.
It needs to be a good solid pack.
I have one of those as well. Yeah. Just hopefully it's included, but if not, I as well as mine, I have a blade sharpener to sharpen your knives / axe because if you're gonna be out there the full 60 days or whatever, it's gonna get dull.
I'll just kill a bear and sharpen it on his teeth.
Yeah, that'll work.
I also put water boots. This kind of goes with the outfit, and that's the last item on my list. I didn't really get into detail with the outfits, but I mean, long sleeve, have some nice high water boots.
Right, so waterproof.
High tide, low tide. You can hang your nest for the fish, and low tide, wait for high tide.
And lace them up with paracord. Sneak you some extra paracord in there.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's a survival tip. I just saw Bear Grylls do it one time. Really? Yeah, he laced his boots with paracord so he could like, whoosh,
there you go. No, I can't wear these.
I'm done with these boots. Time to fix some shoes with plastic
I mean,
bottles.
worst case scenario, maybe you could fasten a hammock and sleep, and then wake up, take it down, and use it for your shoes. I mean, it would suck.
Hey, if you're that desperate, you can do it.
So I mean, that's kind of it for the list. I would like to think that I would last somewhat of a long time because I've done a week fast before, and like after day 4 I feel great.
The hunger thing is your body, humans are amazing. You get used to almost anything. My one big thing, like the bears, the predator situation would be my tap out / I don't know where I'm going because I mean
I wouldn't be too worried about the bears because black bears are usually skittish. I'd be more concerned about the cougars and wolves. Cougars.
Oof, wolves?
Specifically, wolves too.
Oof. I'd be more concerned about wolves than...
Cougars like to
go with Liam
sneak
Neeson
up on
with
you.
some broken bottles in your fists.
And go out, and they probably died in the end of that movie.
Was it The Gray?
Yeah. Really good movie.
Yeah, pretty cool. If you were attacked by a wolf, what's your survival? Now you got a knife and an axe. What's your survival strategy?
Knife, throat.
Knife to throat? Heck no, dude. I try with the axe, try and keep that thing away.
Okay, I pictured if like a wolf's on top of me, so I just
gotcha.
automatically assume the worst. Okay,
for sure.
All right, so if there's like a wolf, axe. Oh yeah,
try and keep it at bay.
100%, as far away as possible. When I hear something, I just automatically assume the worst and try and figure it out. Stab the throat. But I mean, just bears, cougar, wolves, and it rains 270 something days a year.
I think we're thinking about the big problems. Honestly, the killers are I haven't seen the show. Probably the small things like you get a cut and it gets infected, or you break a toe and you can't set it. And like, I wonder if that stuff is the real.
You could see that.
Like that would be. Oof. I mean, you have like a med kit still is nice, but
but I mean,
what's the worst injury that someone's had on the show that you've seen?
A lot of people tap out before they get one, but just recently on season 2, this lady was cutting up some wood and
oh no,
I guess kind of missed and just kind of like nicked her thumb, like not full on swing, like she was holding the base of the axe with her hand, just kind of cutting some like small twigs on a log. Kind of slipped and nicked her thumb and actually sliced it. right where the kind of thumb connects.
Oh,
And I think sliced her tendon because she couldn't move it.
no.
Yeah. So, and a little side note popped on the screen and said that a sever artery in the hand could cause permanent immobility if not treated within like 4 hours.
Did she
So I'm
tap
like,
out?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say like that's not worth the
It was
money
like
to lose
button,
it.
button. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It
A
was
life
it
alert
was
button
quick.
around your neck.
Like they're on the boat because it isn't a radio. It's just like a button. So it's like they can't really give her help.
Right.
I mean, because it needs to be beefy and have one button be able to last a long time.
Sure.
So like they see her on the boat and they're like, raise your hand, raise it up, elevate it. And like she looks like she's getting pissy. She's
Right.
like, fine. And then she hangs her hand up and then the guy's yelling out, pressure, elevate it and pressure and elevate. And she's like, ah. And she puts her hand on and I'm like, you know what? You deserve to go home. And I don't like her one bit. And she left 2 like infants, and she was the only mom, which I'm like,
Man,
I just didn't really like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but
working for that money, man.
yeah. So, say you did do it. Say you had your 6 months
Yeah.
to prep. I'd be packing on the weight too. Probably. Seriously,
Really?
Yeah. 6 months. I mean, I don't want to go there weighing 500 pounds, but if I can gain an extra 20 pounds before I'm going to try and stay at a place for 60 days where I'm going to eat once every couple of days.
Oh, I think
Back
I would
on
do
the
the
pounds.
opposite. I think I would try and get in as best physical shape as possible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm for sure going to the gym, but I'm going to eat some calories. Yeah, man, because what if you strike out, you've got fire, you find water, everything's good, but you're just not having much success in that food department.
I think I'd
Go
rather
from excess
train.
fat.
I think I'd rather train my body
So you can be
to
better
not
at
be shocked,
at getting food.
or like to not be like go into like shock when I was like, oh God, I don't know, I don't have any. You know what I'm saying?
You've got 6 months. So I take the first 2 and figure out the whole shock part, do some fasting, take the last part and just bulk the heck up.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, but yeah, like survival. I don't know, man. If I think realistically, if I were to like go in cold, probably a week before I twisted my ankle real bad or something. You know, like I just
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I love the idea of it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm thinking like 2-3 weeks,
You think so?
maybe longer. Maybe I like it. Maybe I don't want to leave. I don't know. Like, so, I mean, all right, so say you
Like send messages
go.
in bottles home to Tala. Like,
love you, honey. How you doing? How's your 3rd birthday? Oh man. So say you're there, you get dropped down. I don't know, via helicopter. They push you off a boat, something.
right.
You're there. What's the first thing you do?
Fire,
Fire.
water, and fire.
The second thing you do.
Fire. Well, okay, I was gonna say
Fire
chop
again.
firewood, but
2 fires.
shelter.
Okay,
Fire,
right.
shelter would be my fire, shelter, and water. Somewhere in those
Yeah.
3 would be my first
Yeah.
concern.
My first thing would be kind of like scouting for like a possible home base camp or
Yeah, for sure.
something.
You want to set up.
Yeah, but like not take too much time. You got to get a fire going because
Yeah.
you need to find food. Well, I mean, the first day you're just not gonna eat, so maybe I'll just
Yeah.
scout.
But do
Yeah.
people eat a lot of bugs or anything like that?
There wasn't a lot of bugs because it does get cold there. So there wasn't
Gotcha,
a
so
lot
not
of
a ton
bugs.
of-
Like there was like a slug, or, here and there, and that's
No,
about
those
it. But
tasty larvae that Bear Grylls loves to munch down
not
on.
those, no. Oh god, these things are gross.
Kuna Matata, baby.
Hakuna Matata. I think what kind of like structure would you build for your kind of house? Like
I think I'd want to get up
Like an-
off the ground.
Eeyore type esque, like A-frame type
Well,
thing.
if we have a tarp, the first night I would probably
like a lean-to or something.
yeah, but I also know that I guess depending on are there like if there's not snakes, I don't know. I would have to.
Not really.
Do people try and get off the ground a lot on the show, or do they?
Actually did, which was surprising, but I guess since it's so
It
cold.
depends on the climate. That
I mean, bears climb.
right. That's not
Cougars
gonna help
climb.
you with. Yeah,
It'll only help you with the wolves.
gotcha.
But I mean, hey, still against
Right.
the wolves. But
But yeah, I would take the tarp / survival, hammock thing, and yeah, it's probably like a little I would do just big enough to sleep in. Try and contain as much warmth as possible. Make like a bed of I don't know, leaves and shrubbery.
Yeah, definitely. That's good. Yeah,
or also
along that.
Do the thing where it's like a half tent, and you just kind of like you have so your tarp goes from the ground here, and then you have your fire right here, and then like make sure you don't roll into the fire like a little.
Right.
But so you're like kind of consistently warming you through the night.
He was a good man.
You survived 6 hours before you rolled into the fire.
Smells great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd probably do something similar. I was thinking like an A-frame or maybe something circular, like just kind of like chop down some small trees, hit them into the ground with the blunt end of the axe. Make something like that and use like the tarp for kind of like a roof.
Right.
Framing it with wood, but I would want to keep the fire inside the tent. I mean, obviously don't do anything stupid, like maybe border it or like with rocks or something, but
right. Yeah. As long as if it's made of like natural, like if it's a tarp, probably won't have the fire in there, but like if you make it add up, because that's also another thing is, maybe that first night you get a temporary shelter and then you start working on your perma shelter.
Perma shelter, which I might want to do something up in the tree.
Yeah, I mean, if you trust your handyman abilities enough.
Yeah, I mean, it get the job done. I wouldn't want to bring two people up there, but
like a Swiss Family Robinson situation.
I actually haven't seen that. So.
I've never read. It's a classic book, but a family shipwrecked on an island.
If it's a book, I might have been forced to read it during high school, so maybe I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like slowly just kind of making a ladder up a tree and then just slowly building something.
Right.
Hopefully not super sketchy. Just that way, I mean, at the very least, wolves couldn't get. I mean, if there's a ladder and some kind of trap door to where you have to like open something to get in, at least like they're not going to penetrate it.
Right.
So
they don't have.
You're at least going to wake
thumbs.
up alive. So that's nice.
That's priority. Waking up alive.
Waking up alive.
Boy, wouldn't that be the worst? Getting attacked while you're sleeping.
Yeah, which is usually how it happens because they're all nocturnal, so they are all out at night. So, yeah, man. I mean, $500,000 is a really good motivator. I think you would need it. The guy that won the first season is like, already? He's like, he said something like, I was just thinking to myself before you guys got here that if I'm here next spring, what I would do for like a front porch. Yeah, he was like legit just thinking about everything. Yeah. He was like 60 days. He's like, wow. I was planning on being here a lot longer.
I was tempted to ask you like about him, but I don't want to know anything because I don't want to know who wins.
Really good. Yeah. No.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, there'd be some, I don't know. I love the idea. I love survival. I'm always watching stuff like that on YouTube. And
oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Like survival equipment, gear reviews, and that kind of thing.
We should do it one day. I know we used to camp out a lot. We haven't both together done any really like survival-esque
nothing like that
type stuff. Like you only eat what you kill.
Right.
I've gone camping with Zach once, and that was like the motto, I guess.
Eat what you kill.
But I also brought like ground beef and rice just in case we didn't kill anything.
Right.
We just ate the ground beef and rice.
So, I feel like,
if you have a crutch, you're not going to go out and hunt something, exert energy and eat it. It's just so much work. So.
Right. Yeah. And if I were to go out in that situation, because I'm plant-based, I would probably, you probably resort to just eating whatever you can get your hands on, whether it's a fish or a deer slug, or whatever. Yeah.
Bugger or slug.
Bugger or slug. And, I would love to do some survival stuff.
It would be fun for sure. I mean, like, I would love to take a week and just be like, you better go have fun. You know what I mean? Just like it's just a week. So it's like if you're just the worst survivor in the world and you eat nothing, you're still going to be fine.
Right, as long as you have water.
Which might be the case, but it would still be fun. So hunting something, I don't know, like just making a house out of sticks and roots.
Right.
Doesn't sound like fun, but like you're just, I don't know, you're alone with your thoughts. You're in nature.
Oh, that was something I wanted to talk about. I wonder how many people underestimate
psychological aspect of it.
Yeah, and like we underestimate just being like just you and like
yeah.
because everybody thinks they're tough and like I even really enjoy alone time, but
yes.
I wonder at some point it's like, man, I miss my wife, I miss my kid, I miss right. I wonder how hard that starts to hit.
Yeah, on the show it definitely happened quite a bit. Personally, I think it's like I like to think I'd be fine,
right?
But it's just I don't think anyone would be totally fine. You'll probably start going a little nuts.
Right.
Maybe talking to the camera like it's a person or naming inanimate objects.
Right. Have Spalding over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies as a kid is Castaway.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie for a kid to like, but I love that movie.
Was his name Spalding?
I thought
it was something else. No?
Maybe no, you're right.
He just named it that.
Spalding he named something else Spalding. It was, what was it?
Coconut, maybe?
It was a volleyball that it was a bloody handprint. And he had stuff. What's the name of it? I'm going to Google it right now.
I'm trying to think. Troy? No.
It was the name of.
I remember it too, but it's on the tip of my tongue.
It was the name of the volleyball.
Well,
Wilson.
Wilson, there you go. Yeah, that's it. Wilson.
I tell you what, I think about this almost on a weekly basis. That scene in Castaway where a bunch of UPS packages arrive on the island. He's been there for like years at this point. And
UPS package? I don't remember.
He is just kind of washed up. And so these ice skates arrive. And so he has a rotten tooth in the back of his mouth. One of his molars is rotten.
I don't remember this scene.
So he's in a cave.
It sounds horrible.
He takes the ice skate, right? Puts the blade in his mouth. And the other hand has a rock. And he
it's all coming back to me
dislodges this rotten tooth out of his mouth. Oh, and like he passes out like that. I think about that on like a weekly basis.
Really? A weekly basis?
You ever have that in life where like really like weird things from childhood or like something a cousin said, like it's like super, like none of no import, but just like weird things that you think about on a regular basis. Yeah. So that's one of those regular basis,
but they'll like occasionally pop in and be like, oh yeah, But,
but no, him knocking out his tooth. I think about that all the time. It's one of those weird things.
Oh my gosh. It's just, and his was kind of different because his was like a smaller island, right? And
it was also a tropic. It was
like an actual island
situation. Yeah.
This place, it's technically an island, but it's so big.
It's like a northern, mountainous.
Huge.
From what I understand, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is. You will love the show. If you go home, your wife's going to be pissed because you're going to binge watch the entire first season. Just boom, done. You will for sure do it because I know I did. Every chance I got that I was either awake or going to bed, I was watching it alone.
Was Ping into it at all yet?
She's seen a few of them that I've watched, but maybe like one or two.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think she's into the whole survival thing because a lot of them grew up like that in the Philippines. Not everyone, but a lot of people did not like that survival level.
But still, like less. Yeah,
they're more like, if I could not do that, why would I go do that?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. That's a really interesting point because Anne would be like that as well from Haiti, and like they grew up. You have electricity from such and such time and they get cut off at the same time every day, so they're like, why the heck would I want? And so us spoiled Americans, like who were raised in a pool house,
you want what you don't have,
exactly. Everybody wants what they can't. And so it's one of those weird things. As a hobby, we want to go see, but I think there's also something almost spiritual about it, and like kind of reliving what ancestors have kind of like that same lifestyle. I think there's something deeper there that's really interesting.
There is. And I think you'll come out as a better person, which a lot of people said in that show they did after. The people that stuck around for like at least a month,
right? They're
like, I am not the same person and I never will be, because it's just you're alone for that long.
Right.
Which is part of why I like doing float tanks. Just you're just alone.
That isolation.
And it's nice, but picture that. Like 30 days.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
No human contact, no texts, no nothing.
It doesn't seem hard when you say it, but if you were to actually just sit there for 30 days.
Yeah.
And just like scrounge up food, and it's not going to be much. It's just, I think it would definitely take a huge toll.
Oh, yeah. Tell me this. This is something that I haven't, and because I went to the Philippines in high school on a missions trip and also to Vietnam, and you've made famously of some trips to the Philippines. I noticed this on my first flight to the Philippines, and it was like, total of like what, between like 25 and 30 hours in air or whatever.
So much fun.
And so there's this one point where we were flying over Antarctica. And I was like, excuse me,
you're flying around it?
The North Pole or South Pole, one of the cold places we flew over.
Right.
I think it was the North Pole. And and so I was looking down, I was like, oh my God, I am so far from anybody that I know and love. Right? I even had my dad went with me, so I was like, I'm here, but like, wow, I'm so far from anybody that I know and love and grew up with. It was like almost like this weird, depressing like feeling, just being
really.
Yeah, I experienced that on my first flight, and so I wonder even how much more so when you're just living it up with
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Critters and.
I don't know, man. I know first few flights that I went through, I didn't have that feeling, but it was just like, because the weird part that that I felt was just that you can get on something and be literally on the other side of the earth in like a day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that was just insane to me. So that's the thought that I was thinking about the entire time.
Gotcha.
And man, like turbulence on those long flights aren't like turbulence like you're going from here to New York or to Chicago. It's just different, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the subtropical winds or I don't know, something, but like that turbulence is insane.
Yeah, it can get pretty choppy.
It's like, well, I'm dying now, so let me just, it's just,
right.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. So Antarctica, that is just, I don't really see what survival skills you could possess that would really keep you alive there. I mean, I've read Jack London, the book, but I mean, that's.
I don't know if I know, what is that about?
Not Jack London. That's the author, Call of the Wild.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
A lot of people have read that. You know how like the dogs and stuff, they'll like kind of dig under, so the wind doesn't hit them, and like you can do little things like that. But like it's Antarctica,
right? Those Eskimos.
What are you gonna do?
You need to kill something big and wear its fat and its fur. You need to have
gear. Yeah. It's just
like I saw something the other day. It's probably going around online. It's probably a lot of people have seen it, but it was like some of the science behind like igloos, where like you build it and then you light a fire on the inside, and the fire like slightly melts the interior together. So it becomes like one structure on the inside.
It's so cold on the outside, it doesn't melt it all the way.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It has to be really cold for that to work, but it is really cold there.
It's only ever really cold, yeah. Can you ever think of this? Isn't it amazing that people started out knowing nothing, and the human race has survived till now? Isn't that insane to think that we made it this far?
And if you think about it, as far as technology wise, I mean, what, 2 or 3 people ago, we were still kind of in that area where we were just kind of farming and just kind of killing things to get by.
Right. Yeah. Like generations ago. Yeah. And like
crazy.
The I was talking with Uncle Greg. It's like technological advancements it almost feels fluid now. Where like I feel like
not even real.
I know.
It's just some kind of like dream.
And it's weird how we almost like expect it. It's like, this smartphone is, only has a 15 megapixel camera. What the heck? And like, back in the day, you have, your ding phones where you like the old school.
Yeah, or if your dad caught a single fish, it's like, that was a good day.
Right.
That was a great day.
Right. Yeah. Or like people who like, depend on eating like deer. And so if you caught a deer, it's like, all right, we're going to eat for the next couple of weeks. And if you didn't, it's like, well, I guess rice and beans.
Billy, it's your turn.
And I just think it's amazing that we've survived this long and we're here.
Yeah, it is.
And technological, like, in the 80s and 90s, like they're like little jumps. But at this point, it's like, it just feels fluid where it's just nonstop. Yeah. Insane.
What was the guy? I forget his name. Where he just said that technology will just double every year.
Yeah. Wow.
Technological advancements will just double itself every year. I mean, you would think until it reaches a certain point, but I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it.
Like critical mass, like it's just like exponentially. It's crazy.
It's like the more tech you have, the more things you can research and do. It's just constantly
like multipliers. Yeah,
snowball effect. Yeah, man.
Well, Lane, at 53 minutes in and reaching the level of conversation we're reaching, I feel like this is about the extent that we can
it's a good spot to end
intelligently speak about this.
Right.
So I think we got anything else?
No, I think that's it. So comment below what you would bring if you ever deserted on a stranded island or
give
in
us your
Vancouver,
top 10
Canada.
things.
Top 10 things, what you would do. First thing you do, second thing you do. Has this ever happened to you? Have you been stranded somewhere?
Were you a contestant on the show alone?
Yes, please like, comment, and subscribe.
We would love to interview you.
Until next week, guys. See you then.
Also, hey, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, please give us a rating. That would be very helpful.
Preferably 5 stars.
Preferably 5 stars.
Preferably 5 stars.
And if you feel like we're less than 5 stars, don't rate us.
Don't rate us. Yeah.
Just
give us 5 stars anyway.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that about does it. This has been our top 10 survival tips from 2 survival exploits.
Oh, yeah. Exploits.
I regret saying it like that.
See you guys.
Yeah.